I struggled with chronic cystic acne for more than 5 years. And I'm not talking about just a few pimples before my period. I'm talking about the kind of acne that takes over your life. The deep, cystic, painful, red, inflamed acne, my face, my chest, my back, my shoulders, it was everywhere. And if this is your first time hanging out, I'm Katie Stewart, registered holistic nutritionist who has helped over 3,000 women in 15 different countries clear their skin up from the inside out. And I tried literally everything under the sun, the high-end facials, the expensive treatments, all of the different products, the medications, the supplements, you name it, I tried it and nothing worked. And everything I did seemed to make it worse. But what finally cleared up my skin wasn't another serum or another dermatologist appointment. It was something nobody had ever told me ever. So in this video, I'm going to take you through what I tried, what didn't, and what absolutely worked and was the game changer for me. So if you've been sitting there wondering, can I ever clear up my skin? Will I ever feel confident and beautiful in my own skin again? Yes, so this video is for you. When I came off the birth control pill in my early 20s, my previously clear skin just exploded. I had brill-like acne all over my forehead, my cheeks, the sides of my chin. Then it got worse. It turned into the deep cystic acne as well on my jawline, my chin, like I said, my chest, the tops of my shoulders, my back. It was so embarrassing. I hated having to layer on makeup and even choose specific clothes and dresses based on how severe and where my breakouts were at that time. And guess what? When I was dealing with this acne, I was actually working in television. I had a behind the scenes role at Hockey Night in Canada. For anyone that doesn't watch hockey, that's basically our version of Sunday Night Football. It is the biggest national broadcast in Canada. So I was working with NHL players, TV executives, celebrities. And then during the day, I was working at a local cable station where I was on an HD camera every single day as a videographer and location host. So I was actually having my cameraman shoot at certain angles. I parted my hair certain ways. I lighted a certain way. And then I got to stare at my face in an edit suite for hours on end. Needless to say, my self-esteem and my self-confidence were absolutely shot, and dealing with this acne trickled into every single area of my life. I didn't want to be intimate with my then boyfriend, who's now my husband. I didn't want to go and work out or go to hot yoga without a face full of TV makeup on. I didn't even want to go to the store and get apples if I was out wearing full foundation because I was so self-conscious about my skin. I canceled plans. I didn't want to go to the beach. I didn't want to go to concerts. My acne was actually holding me back from living my life. And over that 5-year period of dealing with acne, you want to know how much I spent? Please don't tell my husband, but it was over $10,000. That is a huge number, but if you break that down, that's about $2,000 a year or about $175 a month. For a lot of acne sufferers, that is an easy thing. $175 could be a facial, could be a new skincare regime, could be a new set of supplements. It is so easy to spend on your face. Now, at this time, I was working in television, like I mentioned, and I actually got assigned to work on a gluten-free cooking show. This was back 2011, 2012. Nobody had heard of gluten, certainly not me. I come from an Italian household. I eat bread and pasta all day, every day, fettuccine Alfredo and garlic bread, you name it. I loved it. So when I started working on this gluten-free cooking show, I thought, there's no way removing gluten could have any difference on my body. Who knew that removing gluten would get rid of the lifelong migraines I had had since kindergarten? I actually took a prescription medication almost every day that made me feel like a numb zombie, and I hated taking it. I removed gluten, my migraines went away, and my stomach pain started to go away. Then I thought, okay, well, why don't I remove this other thing called dairy? And who knew? My stomach pain completely vanished. That's when I had this aha moment that the food that I was eating was impacting my body. So I decided to go back to school to study nutrition. And I remember reading my very first textbook in my first semester, and there was a paragraph in this textbook that talked about the impact of the birth control pill on your body and on acne. This lit off that like cartoon light bulb beside my head, and I realized, OMG, my acne is an external symptom of an internal issue. So no wonder why all of the topical ointments and medications and products and facials I was getting wasn't working, because I wasn't going after the real reason I had acne. I was just treating the symptom. This discovery sent me down the biggest rabbit hole of life, and I spent the next 2 years obsessing over all things internal acne clearing in order to become a registered holistic nutritionist. And this is where I developed my 5 acne clearing pillars that I'm going to walk you through now. So let's kick it off with the gut. This is probably one of the most overlooked areas when it comes to clearing up acne from an inside out approach. And now I know gut health isn't this sexy, skin glowy, add to cart answer you were looking for, but it, trust me, is everything. Now, most people think that gut health just means adding a probiotic in, but in reality, it is so much more. Your gut is basically your body's command center. It is connected to your skin, your hormones, your immune system, your detoxification system, all of this. So when your gut is inflamed, your skin is going to be inflamed. Now, we see these three imbalances all the time with our acne clients. We see leaky gut, we see Candida or SIBO, which is basically an imbalance in your gut's microbiome, or low stomach acid. These we often also see in combination. And then when one of these things are off, acne is going to be showing up, especially maybe on the cheeks or the forehead. So this is where we want to be looking at our digestion, chewing our food really, really well. We want to be making sure we're limiting liquid intake with our meals, especially if we're dealing with low stomach acid. So avoiding too many liquids about 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after. This is where adding in, say, a plant-based digestive enzyme. You want my recommendations? Click the link below for my free resource, the Gut Loving Cheat Sheet. Also, making sure you're getting enough water in the day to be helping with our digestive system. Eating enough fiber is going to be really, really helpful as well. But here's the thing about gut health. It is a big part of the picture, but it's not the only part of the picture. Because if you're eating all the right things, we're working on digestion, your skin is still going to continue to struggle if your detoxification systems aren't clearing things out. And no, I'm not talking about just doing a juice cleanse. What I'm talking about is your body's built-in waste removal system. Your liver, which actually does over 500 functions in the body, your kidneys, your colon, and your lymphatic system. When these systems slow down, become sluggish, get stagnant, guess what comes in as the backup plan? Your skin. And when this happens, you lead to breakouts. So we want to be making sure that we're drinking enough water. This is going to be key. We are including, again, those fiber-rich foods that are going to be loving up our gut. So aiming for about 35 to 45 grams of fiber every single day. That can be things like avocado, quinoa, nuts, seeds, raspberries are a great source. We want to be adding in some cooked cruciferous vegetables like kale, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, things like that. Adding in some dry brushing before we hop in the shower and making sure we're getting some gentle movement, whether that's yoga, Pilates, swimming, walking, will all be loving up our body's detoxification systems. And one of the most important things for your colon is making sure you're having daily healthy bowel movements. Making sure we're going to the bathroom 1 to 3 times a day, one long, smooth, snake-like movement, because remember, your colon is using your poop to excrete the excess toxins and hormones. So if we're not getting these out, they're actually going to start to reabsorb into your body, circulate, head back to your liver. This is going to be increasing inflammation, toxicity, hormonal imbalance in your body, leading to breakouts. Now, once your body is able to love up the gut, your detoxification systems are working well, guess what the next benefit is? Going to be your hormones, because your hormones heavily rely on the health of your gut and your detoxification systems. But when it comes to hormones, we want to be taking it a step further. Of course, there's going to be your sex hormones like your estrogen, your progesterone, or androgens like testosterone. But we don't want to forget about our insulin related to our blood sugar and our cortisol related to our stress hormone. These hormones are so super critical for acne sufferers because when they go off the chart and they're not being loved up, it's actually going to be increasing sebum production in the skin, which is clogging pores and leading to more breakouts. Now remember, hormones are messengers. They're not villains. They're just reacting to what's happening in your body. Chronic stress, gut issues, blood sugar spikes, detox overload. Because when we work with our clients, we don't want to just throw a bunch of supplements at them to see what works. We really want to start to lay some really beneficial lifestyle foundations, making sure you're eating within an hour of waking up, not skipping meals, eating enough food in the day, also making sure that you're having protein, fiber, and healthy fats at every single meal, gentle movement like we already talked about, maybe pulling back on the HIIT workouts so we're not spiking that cortisol, and sleep. It's a non-negotiable. Aiming for 7 to 9 hours of consistent sleep when you have control over that is going to be so critical because your body uses sleep to repair. It's going to be helping to detoxify. It's going to be helping to stabilize that cortisol. So getting enough sleep is going to be so critical. Now, our hormones are powerful, our gut, our detox, our gut, but we absolutely cannot skip this next one. And I see people skipping this all of the time. This one is something that truly matters. This is going to be your emotional well-being because we know acne isn't just a physical issue. It is very much a mental and emotional one as well. So it's really taking up that mental space in our body. The stress, the anxiety, the constant checking in the mirror, the overwhelm, the self-doubt, the negative self-talk, all of this is going to be impacting your emotional well-being. And fun fact, your mental health is actually going to be impacting your gut health, your hormones, your sleep, and yes, your skin. We even have clients that need to be looking at past emotional traumas that are living in their body rent-free and creating this dis-ease in their body. So learning how to speak kindly to yourself. Stop bullying yourself. Maybe do some good affirmations. Maybe we're going to journal. Maybe we're going to do breath work, meditate, do grounding, walk outside in nature, pet a dog, dance, laugh. Whatever brings you joy, let's bring more of that in and start talking kinder to ourselves. This is where we can also be setting boundaries and learning to say no to protect our own peace. So we've talked about gut detox, hormones, emotional well-being. The last pillar, which I know you're going to love, is nourishing skincare. We want to be making sure that we are loving up our skin barrier because as acne sufferers, so many of us have absolutely destroyed our skin barrier, which is the protective component of our skin. And when this has been irritated, we're going to be inflamed, it's going to be red, our skin's going to be sensitized, and it's going to be causing us to be more prone to breakouts. So loving up our skin barrier with really nourishing ingredients. Let's think niacinamide. Let's think probiotics. Let's think zinc PCA, squalane. All of these ingredients are going to be so nourishing to the skin because we want to be making sure we are loving up that skin barrier, looking at hydration so we can be reducing the severity of our breakouts and speeding up the healing of current ones. So here's the truth. The real shift was a mindset, realizing that my skin wasn't betraying me. It was actually a red flag saying, hey, something is off in here that needs to be fixed. Remember, acne is an external symptom of an internal issue. So when I started supporting my body through these 5 acne clearing pillars, gut health, detoxification, hormones, emotional well-being, and nourishing skincare, this is the game changer for my skin. And not just my skin, but for over 3,000 women that we've worked with in 15 different countries, they followed this journey to clear their skin from the inside out as well. So if you're ready to finally get to the root cause of your breakouts, not just manage your symptoms, you don't have to figure it out alone. Click the link below to learn more about working with us in the Clear Skin Solution, where we help you clear your skin from the inside out so you can have your confidence back. And hey, if this video resonated with you, I would love for you to hit that like, subscribe, and leave a comment about what you loved most, because I'm always here cheering you on every step of the way.